And there's two people waiting. All right, Oleg join. Oleg.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey.
There we go. Okay.
All right, guys. So
Oh,
I think we have everyone, so that's perfect. Thank you so much for joining. So, as you know, some of you know, we've been working for last month, primarily Jonathan, on trying to learn Connecteam program that we use for a lot of things. And it's got a lot of capabilities. We just want to utilize it better because we're paying for it. First, we're paying for it quite a bit of money. And second, see potential in it. We just need to learn how to operate properly. And so Jonathan prepared for us kind of a presentation. It's not completely finished yet, but I feel like there's enough so we can share with you so you can kind of start getting idea of what it's capable of and how we're going to be operating, how we're going to collect in documents, how we can communicate with our employees, how we can make a training materials in proper way. Okay, so on the phone call, just so you understand, we have a Scott. Scott is our general manager for all three locations in Chicago. We have a Tatiana, she's head of HR. We have an Angela, he's our newest partner, and we're going to be opening location with him in Phoenix, Arizona. We about to sign the lease. Hopefully, in the next week, we'll sign the lease. We have Peter High. He's our partner in San Antonio, and we have Jonathan. So he's head of our operations here in Atlanta, Georgia. And we have Oleg and Dmitry. They are our partners in Raleigh, North Carolina. So hoping if everything going to be fine to get a final inspection in Raleigh in hopefully in a few weeks, and maybe by the end of a month, if you're going to be lucky, we open their location.
You forgot Scott.
No, I said Scott is our main guy in Chicago.
Okay.
Yep. So, guys, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining. And Jonathan, go ahead.
Okay. Can everybody see my screen that I'm sharing? You can just give me a thumbs up. Some of you are muted, so if you can see it, I just want to make sure that everybody can see it. Okay, cool, perfect. All right, so basically, I think all of us have had a little bit of a pain point with Connecteam. Here's the thing, Connecteam is a phenomenal software program. The problem with Connecteam is that on the back end side of things, it's not very user friendly in the sense that you have to kind of know exactly what you're wanting to do. You need to know exactly what you're trying to get accomplished. What is the purpose of this specific thing that you're doing on Connecteam? And then there's so many sub menus to understand exactly how do you get to where you're trying to get to, and it can be very confusing for sure. I understand completely. Took me almost 2 weeks to really just spend a lot of time on it to understand how it works. The cool thing is that once you understand how it works, it's actually not as complicated as most things are, right? So I've done a lot of the work for a lot of us to make this simple and easy. The mindset that I discussed with Dmitry is that I think we need to make it very easy for the staff, right? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, it needs to be important for us to be able to upload things the way we want them to be, so that it's unique to our locations. But we should also have a database of things that are unique specifically to our individual franchises, right? Because there are things different from escape rooms that are not going to apply to, Spin Art Studios or Axe Masters or, vice versa. And what I don't like is when those things start to intermingle, and it confuses staff because they're like, wait, so what does that have anything to do with what specifically I'm doing? And that's just because, unfortunately, things have just been thrown at it with no really direction. So my goal and purpose over the next probably month and a half as I continue to build this is to create direction and to simplify it for your staff so they only see what matters to them specifically, right? So when they log on their app, all that should matter is what's in front of them that matches their specific business, so we're not confusing them and making it more difficult. So In order to do that, I'm going to show you guys in a minute kind of how I've set up things. I'm welcome to anybody's input on anything that I've done. Once again, I'm doing this as a perspective for a whole. That's why your opinions matter. But I think you'll find that the direction that I'm taking it is kind of pretty much going to be unanimous. I think we all will be in agreement that that's going to make life easier, and I'm willing to tweak it however needed. But I want you guys to see it firsthand. And if you probably have been on your apps recently, you've been getting a lot of notifications probably that you've got new access to things or this or that, whatever. I've been playing with all of your user accesses to make sure that you guys have the access that you need, because that was another pain point is some of our ownership needs to have specific things that are only for ownership to know that we don't want our staff or our management to know. And same thing, we have things that only managers need to know, but we don't want staff to know. So I've been doing that. So let's jump in. Okay, so most of us know the homepage of Connecteam. So on the left-hand side, these are all of our asset groups that we've kind of created. Now I've started to kind of compile everything into specific categories. So starting with store managers. So this is a comprehensive platform that's set up on the back end by admins. I have access to everybody. Not everybody's going to see what I'm going to see, but ideally you'll get the understanding of what I'm about to show you. Most of you already know how to do employee task by now. I would hope that you do. If you don't, we can certainly spend some time to go over how to set up tasks properly, how to set them up on revolving so that they're just automatically in repeat every day. These little icons here are simply something that you set up that you want to be on a consistent basis to basically repeat itself over and over and over again, i.e. closing procedures, opening procedures, things like that. And then there's specific tasks that you can create that don't have that, that are just, designed specifically for a task that maybe you need for an event or something particular. So let me see if there's anyone that I can highlight that you can kind of see the difference. I think mostly everything is on rotation. Yeah, mostly everything is on rotation right now. But we can, if you don't know how to do that, we can simply walk you through that. But the main purpose of today is to look at these things. So manager forms. So all of our managers, including admins and ownership, all have access to these specific forms. I just uploaded a few the other day. The disciplinary form, these are, when you access it, you can preview it here, but this is how we send it to the staff. So if there's a write-up that needs to happen for whatever reason, and your manager needs to talk or discipline an employee for something that occurred, they can simply go on their app now. They'll all have access to this, and they can pop into this form, and it's very easy to fill out. Everything from specifics to what was the reasoning. You can choose multiple options here for the reason for the write-up. If nothing is working or doesn't apply, then you can certainly make your own specific reasoning. The type of action that was taken, and then obviously a summary of the violation below, then elaborate on the actions that must be taken with the employee immediately. And then also, while you're sitting there with the employee, the supervisor and the employee signature. So I noticed that one of the things that Tatiana and I had talked about is that we want to start streamlining this and making it easy, right? So we don't ever want to be in a situation where we're digging for paperwork, right? It'd be easy to be able to go to a search, pick up an employee's name, type in their name, and we can see every single write-up that we've ever had with a specific employee, so that when we come to the termination or separation of business, we have all that to fall back on. So we want to start using that pretty much immediately, right away, if you guys run into those situations. And then if we go back to manager forms again, we have this now, and I'm pretty sure, Peter, if you're muted, you could chime in here. You actually just used this for the first time, correct? Because I saw an input for you, correct? I think you're muted, Peter. No? Can anybody else hear him? No.
We can't hear you.
Sign language. Okay. Wait. Well, while Peter's figuring that out, I'll show you what he did. So he had a manager that we parted ways with in San Antonio, and he actually filled out one. And so you'll see right here where it says show entries. We can click on show entries, and we'll take a look at the one that Peter did. So this was the one that he did for this employee. This was done on the 11th. And then here is a copy of what that looks like. So this is how he filled it out. Employee's name, the specific location of where it occurred, the termination date, was it voluntary or involuntary? Um, he completed the termination document that's associated, which he has. Name removed from employee list here with us, and all software systems access disabled. And then we've also created a checklist as well for you to follow up with to make sure you've done your job as well. And then finally, employee signature and a manager signature. So this is logged in the database, and Tatiana has access to that, and the company has access to that information. And that's what we want to start being able to do, is we want to be able to have access to that. If there's a reason for a salary increase, you know, a performance thing, obviously this is what this form is for. So you can submit a request for a specific type of company, where the location is, and so on and so on. So everything from employee, current wage, new wage, effective date range, and then signatures, so on and so on. And then that can get sent up to Tatiana, and she can review that. And then she has everything she needs to do what she needs to do on her end. The beautification template, just an easy access template. If you guys want to build off of it, you can. It's already in there. It's an option available. You can build your own if you want, but there's one here available. If you ever want to build something specific for your location, I would advise not doing it in the general ever, because this is just the main stuff. What I would recommend, if you want to be specific to your business, we have created your businesses below, and we'll bring North Carolina on here shortly. They'll have their own section as well, which is what I'm currently working on for you guys right now. These specific items are going to be similar to what we're looking at up above, but it's going to be an option for you guys to be able to upload specific documents that may be applied just to your location, right? So like maybe your beautifications or maybe your forms are a little bit different. And there's some things that you want specifically as a manager or an ownership of your franchise to see. We would want this to be in these specific categories. And these are attached to your specific employees. So they will see all the main company stuff, but they'll see specifically the things that you want them to see. So that's what I'm working on right now. So eventually you guys are going to have a setup like this, but for your specific business as well. So forms, trainings, you know, if there's certain things you want your staff to know, you'll be able to upload it in here, and we'll show you how to do that here in just a minute. All right, let me go back up here. Maybe my computer wants to cooperate. There we go. All right, so moving on here. I'm going to delete one of these. I was playing around with a couple options here. I think we're going to go with this one. This one's the best laid out one. Sick leave form, self-explanatory. Just fill it out for the employee. That's also something that Tatiana will have access to, so she can make sure that that's taken care of as well. Job posting description template was something that Dimitri wanted me to post for you guys. Just it's some verbiage that you can copy and paste in Indeed for your own personal needs, that he just likes the verbiage because it reaches out to the right demographic of people that we're looking for these types of positions. And then obviously our suggestion box for managers as well. Okay, things to know. So I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to show you what it is, and I'm going to show you how to do it right now. So things to know are things that you want your staff to know. These could be links to YouTube sites. These could be videos that you want them to watch. This could be documents. This could be PDFs. This could be just about pretty much anything in that category. So I'm going to use this disciplinary write-up procedure. So I just made this the other day. And if we go in and look at the folder, and we should be able to, let's see here. preview it right here. So this is what this looks like for the customer. And then if we go to the next step and they click on it, it pops up like this on their phone so they can see it just like that. So a manager can look up and read exactly what is the company's procedure or how to handle a disciplinary action before filling out the form. So literally step by step, what is the expectation? What do we need? All that fun stuff. And it's all right there, easy access for them. Now, I'm sure a lot of us have been wanting to figure out how to do this. Like there might be things you want your staff to have. And I'll show you, this is how you can do it from here. So this, where it says things to know, that's going to be these right here. If you notice, the icons are the same. So these are going to be all the same for all the businesses, and this is where you can upload it. But for the sake of this training and for you guys to understand exactly how to do it, I'm going to do it in the main one right now, because it'll look exactly identical to this, exactly identical. So we're going to click add new. So you're going to title it what you specifically want this to be. So training, let's just do training for managers. So I'll hit confirm on this. Now you're going to add folder and you're going to title the folder the same, training for managers. So we have that set up. Once that's in, now you can actually have something you can attach stuff to. So we can click on the folder, and right here is where you can do whatever really you want. So if you want to make a note of something for them, you can title the note, have the information, you can type it here without even having to use a Word doc. You can do it right through Connecteam. If you want to add a link to something, so like a YouTube link, or maybe there's something specifically that you want them to be linked to, you can put that right in here and title it. If you want to add files, photos, pictures, videos, clearly you would just click on this. You would select whatever it is that you want to add, and then it'll drop it right in there. I'll just do this for example so that you guys see. Let's do this one. So I'll drop that in. It'll load it in. I hit save. And then now this is the part where we need to be careful. So you guys, when you're in your specific group, you will want to make sure when you're doing this, this is how we've been having problems. This is used to pick certain individuals. So like you can select the people you want here, but we also have smart groups set up. So I like to use smart groups. You click on smart groups, I'll show you what these are. So new hires, if you click this, just because you're in the mindset, you're thinking, oh, well, I have a new hire. You're not just doing it for your staff, you're doing it for everybody. So we don't want to select this, because if we select this, then everybody gets it. And maybe this specific document is only exclusive to your location. So that's where we don't want the rest of the staff getting that information. And this will also include other businesses as well, i.e. Paranoid Quest, escape rooms, Axe Masters. So we would not want to click this. I would not recommend the all admins group either, simply because that would give all the admins access to it. And maybe there's certain specific admins in other businesses that don't really need to know or need to have your document. So I wouldn't use that. North Carolina will be on here in a little bit here once you guys become a physical approved location. So then you'll be able to select North Carolina, and all of your staff would already be in that. So that would be what I would use. I would select simply North Carolina. And then you can also, just to make sure, you would be able to specifically choose your location in North Carolina. So those would be the two I would use for just your specific forms, so that it uploads directly to your staff and only your staff. All right, let me cancel assignments. Okay, so that's how you would do that, and that applies to all of the businesses as a whole. So that would be for documents, not things that you want them to sign Nothing like that, just things that you want to upload specifically. Now, you will have this icon as well.
Peter has a question.
Oh, sure. Here, sorry. I'm not in view mode. Yes, Peter, what's up?
We cannot hear you.
Tell him to text, or if you can hear me, Peter, text me your question because I have access to it. Is that so far, like Scott, Oleg, some of you have had some time to kind of look at it. Is that kind of cleared up? I know, Scott, you were working it for a while as well. Is that kind of the vibe that you were trying to get to as well? I know you and I had chatted about it a little bit.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that that'll work well to get just so when you sign up a new person, they'll automatically get whatever training and stuff like that. This way they can go in and you know be able to hit the ground running. Basically, when they log in, they can start to see the stuff right away. So this is good.
My thing would be is that I want you guys to have your specific categories to do all the big stuff so that you don't inadvertently, by accident, go in and change a setting or do something in the major categories, like the big stuff, that could potentially inadvertently cause a rift with other businesses, just because without knowing the back end side of things. That's why I think it's imperative that we each have our own specific category of things, right? They can be mirrored image for everybody, but the big stuff like full company training that needs to apply to everybody, we will handle that directly through the assignments. Let me see here. So his question is, so all the policy handbook that were uploaded says for me got all messed up, at least when I or my staff looks at it. I think changing it to a PDF might fix it. Okay. So did anybody else have any issues with the handbook? I know it was uploaded in a Word format, and I don't know, apparently that's been a little bit of an issue. Has anybody else taken a look at the employee handbooks yet for their respective businesses? That was Peter's question.
Was that sent to everybody? Because I don't even recall getting it.
Yeah, everybody has access to it.
Oh, it's on the thing, or
So it'll be on your it should be on your actual online, like where I'm at right now under all employees. You should see a green one right there.
Who is Austin?
Austin is our director of marketing. Yes, please.
So does everybody see this category? They should. Let me know if you do not. Okay, so it looks like everybody does have access to it. Awesome. So these are the employee handbooks. You can click on them and download them. Obviously, if you're on a computer, it's going to be through preview mode, so you won't be able to physically download it. You have to look at it through a preview option. So you would click on the folder, click on this specifically here, and then you'll be able to see it how it would look on your phone, essentially. But
there is a way for them to download it?
What's that?
There is a way for them to download?
Yeah, it's already there. They have the option to download it. This is literally how it looks for all staff. So they have it on their phone that they can read, but they can physically download the document as well, or the handbook. So let's go back here. Forms. So I want to highlight forms really quick. This is probably going to be the most useful tool for accountability for our staff. Like specifically when you want them to acknowledge things, track stuff. make sure that they're doing what you ask them to do, or require a signature or physical proof by pictures, things like that. So you'll do that through forms. And once again, you will have your own version of this in your own specific category of business. So, but to do this, you would hit same thing, add new. There is templates. You're going to have to delete a bunch of stuff and kind of customize it the way you want. Depending on what exactly it is that you're trying to do, it might just be better just to start from scratch because it's not really hard. Like we'll do test for meeting. So you would title it, and then you're going to select what you want your first field to be. So if it's a description of what it is that you're doing, you would select that first. So I'll click that. So this is a test for the managers to see how we will create accountability. I'll create forms. Okay, so that's the first thing that's going to pop up, and you're going to see it pop up on the phone. Bam. So that tells them what the purpose is of this form. Now we can tell what we want to do in the form. So if we want it to be a drop down of multiple choice questions, you would do this. You would click this, you would write your question, and you would make them select the answer. Probably not the most common thing we're going to use, but it is an option. The one I would prefer instead would be probably the yes or no's, i.e., did you make sure to take out trash for the event today? And then you can then have your values and require that they must answer it, and then hit confirm. And so now they have to select the answer. They cannot move forward without doing it. And if they say, oh yeah, sure, I did it. Okay, great. So then my next thing will be verification of it. So if yes, please.
Hey.
Photos. You can click this, and then you can give them access to gallery. They can take it on their phone. I would probably just say the camera right there, directly connected to the app. Make that required, and then hit confirm. So now they have to take a picture of it to prove it. So like, this is what we ask. This is what they did. Can you please submit me a photo just showing that it's been done? Other things we could do, there's dates, you could create a task specific, yeah, I need you to do this and acknowledge it and require that they confirm it. And then this is going to also pop up here. So now it'll say this. Then they would select the check mark box for that, or they would upload an image. So like, I should be able to use this as an example here. Let me just use a random photo. So this is what it'll look like as the staff member completes this. Yes, I did it. Here's the photo of it. I need you to acknowledge you did it. Yes, perfect. And then you would hit send. And then it successfully sends it, and you get the notification that it's been done, and then it's logged, and we can go back and look at it and verify. That way we can hold specific employees accountable for those things. And we have it documented right here. So you'll always have that. So that's how you can do that for your business. These are all just tools that you guys can use and modify however you see fit. But I feel like that's going to be very beneficial and give your managers control of things and make it unique to you guys, to where you can create stuff that you want to do for your respective businesses, and have some some accountability for certain things around the businesses. As far as other aspects, like all these things, like the employee training, this has been since modified. This is now for all businesses as a whole. I removed the bicycle spin art video in here because there's no reason why all of our staff across all of our platforms should be watching a video on bicycle training. This should be just the main stuff that's most important, that's, you know, universal between all the businesses as a whole. And this tells us how many of our staff are actually paying attention to it and doing it, right? So as you can tell, not very good. And this is why it's imperative that we start paying attention and working on these things, because we have a lot of staff that either has not started it or is currently in progress or hasn't even completed it or hasn't even done it yet. Like, this is a brand new hire that we just brought on for our call center. You know, we've had her for all of maybe 4 days since we implemented this new thing. She's already completed it and is done with her training. So, and you guys have access to this to see this for yourself. And if you need to filter it by location, you certainly can as well. You know, to kind of, you can do it by employees, you can do it by groups, you know. So if it, you know, if I want to see just my business per se, I would just sort by my business. And then I don't need to worry about going through everybody else's stuff. I can just look at my employees and see who specifically has not done their job, or, you know, not followed, or whatever the case. And then you can follow up with them or have management follow up with them on those things. Forms, nothing as of right now. This is kind of like a work in progress. Handbooks, call center, we really need to worry about right now. Job scheduling, all this stuff is specific to the businesses as a whole. Everybody should be good here, minus North Carolina. We're going to bring them on soon. Time clocks, management, chats. Okay, let's talk about chats for a minute. So I don't know if you guys are aware or not, but we have like 12 pages worth of chats that spin off in multiple different directions. Because unfortunately, anyone and everyone can create a chat at any given time. Like, I could send a personal message to Tatiana and say, hey, you know, how's your day going? Well, now that logs as a chat. So I would say there is a way to directly message people instead of creating a chat per se. Like, we don't need to specifically go to the chat portion of what we're doing. We can do it differently. Oh, 1 sec here on the white Connecteam. So these are gosh, what the heck? Let me go back here. Hold on. Where did my Connecteam go? Are you guys seeing a chat screen, or are you seeing Connecteam at the moment? Because it looks like it just booted me out of Connecteam.
Chat screen.
Okay. You're not seeing the right screen right now. So give me 2 seconds here. Hold on. You see it now? Should be Connecteam now. Okay, perfect. So I only have access to what I'm attached to and what I can see, unfortunately. That's another thing I don't like, is that I can only see what I can see and what I'm physically a part of. There's a lot of personal other stuff that goes on. There's a lot of other chats that I'm not in because I'm not physically connected to the chat. So that is another thing I'm working on. I'm trying to figure out how I can control that a little bit better. I think that's going to be through more of this, because in this page, I can see everybody's chats. And I think, Tatiana, you showed me actually a way to. I think when we talked about that, right? That's the only way to get access to it.
Yes, there is a way for you. If you click, I don't remember how to do
I think
it.
it's
Click either edit or click on the chat somehow.
Okay, so let's do, let's just do this one, for example. I think I have to hit edit on this one.
Yeah, click next, because I think that's what it prompts you to add yourself to it.
Right. So then from here, I can add myself into this chat and then it'll be visible to me. So, and actually, I think this one, I actually was already on it, this one specifically, but if I wasn't, I would select my name and then I would be able to be a part of that chat. The only reason why I think it's imperative that as managers, we have access to those things is obviously if there's stuff going on or we're trying to mitigate things, we don't want there to be inter-office drama. I know Scott had brought that up to me that his concern is that, you know, I don't like the idea of not having staff have access or like, you know, not having access to my staff's chats to all of them. So that'd be the only way you realistically, in my opinion, I don't know if there'd be a different way that you could gain access to those chats. Only admins and owners can do this. That's it. Staff cannot do this, but admins and owners can. So if that has any value to you and you feel that would be beneficial, you certainly have the option to do that.
The only thing I did was, if you see down below of this one, you'll see Chicago manager, Chicago LP. And then if you go on, there's one for each location, basically. And then I just told them if you need to talk to anybody in your location, go there, you know?
Right. Problem is,
and then I did
clearly,
a Chicago full, like where they can all talk to each location all together, like a full team one. But that doesn't eliminate the ability to create a chat on their own. It's
right.
Yeah, Peter just messaged in the chat. There's also ability to limit chat ability so that staff cannot start chats.
Right. And so that was my next thing is that's where I'm at, is trying to figure it on the back end. And if he knows how to do that, that's awesome. He can show me how to do that and I can set that up. But we would have to do that across the board for all employees. And we'd have to make it you know, either an owner responsibility or a manager responsibility when the employee is created to not allow them to have that access. Because I don't know if you can do it by group or if you have to do it by individual user accesses.
Yeah, or he's adding, or that only approved members can start chats.
Yeah. I would think this software is very capable of doing a lot of things. That's where it makes it hard sometimes because there is options, but you really have to click around and find those options. They are kind of hidden. So we will do the work to figure that out for you guys and then just filter it down as we get it. But yeah, this is a lot of information and I don't want to overwhelm everybody, but I wanted to really just focus on the key points today of this, which was one, we're going to the centralized main categories for all business that is universal. So i.e. store managers and all employees. And then from there, and then communication, this is also universal. And then specific categories for businesses and locations. So like our call center, you know, and then we have like spin art and so on and so on. Even Tatiana, you have your own little, I don't know, the staff probably, most of them probably don't even see this, but you have access to this as well.
They should be able to. There's also celebration tab. You want to talk about
yeah,
it?
this is cool. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah. So celebrations tab is really cool. This is where we can highlight birthdays, 1-year anniversaries, you know, the important things that we want to acknowledge our staff. Like, you know, today was Kate Fain's birthday. So she got a notification that it was her birthday today and a big thank you from everybody. And you can attach a message even to it, you know, specifically to her. But I think we can click on this one here, like, you know, hey, happy birthday, Kate. So she got this on her phone today. And so it's kind of nice, you know, just a little bit of acknowledgement. Doesn't have to be specific to birthdays. It could be, you know, hey, congratulations on 1-year hire date, things like that. And to do that, to create that, I'm pretty sure you would need to be in, let's go back here. Tatiana, maybe you...
I think it's automatic. As soon as you add the person, As
Does
soon
it
as you add the
automatically roll?
employee, yes,
Okay.
and add his birthday into the
Okay.
system, it will automatically.
Yeah, because it says right here, 47 to 63 users have a birth date on their profile. So, okay, so if they put a birthday when they build their profile out, then it'll acknowledge them, and then their start date as well.
Jonathan, is
Yes.
there a folder where they can do suggestion box for the training materials? Like, you know, we have already built training materials, but if there is more, can we just make a list where people just can drop, like managers can drop
Yeah,
ideas
right here.
and we can put that on them?
Yeah, we have it. It's right here. So if we go back up to all employees, so actually there's a couple places. So for managers only, in forms, they have their suggestion box right here. So they can click on that, and then they can make their suggestion. This looks like this. So this is where they can put in their suggestion. And then for staff, they have theirs as well. It's right here. So we can add, so we have like Sugar Hill has a suggestion box, San Antonio shop suggestion box. We can add one for Chicago if they don't already have their own. Scott, did you not have an opportunity to create one for you guys?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know I was supposed to. A suggestion box?
Yeah, it's just specific to your location for your staff. Like we have the main stuff, but like if you want to keep it specific to your location, like San Antonio has theirs, we have ours. You guys
I
can
just
make.
thought that the one that. Oh yeah, I didn't know. I've seen the one on the main one, so I just didn't know that I
Okay.
could create the one
Yep.
for a
So
specific.
under all employees, this is where you can create, like we could just do it right now. So we'll just do Chicago suggestion. So this is for employees. So
Can you also maybe name them employee suggestion box, manager suggestion box?
well, yeah, we can. I mean, employees are only going to see this, and managers are going to see both. But we
Yeah, it
can.
just multiplies too much stuff. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. We can. Right there was about. Or. So once again, similar to everything else we do, I would recommend a smart group setup for this. So we're specific to only Chicago. So you'll have this in about 2 seconds, Scott. Your whole team, all of Chicago will have this because I'm going to select Chicago. And then I'm going to select for the subgroups of this, I'm going to do SpinArch. Yes. Well, what did I do? Chicago. So we'll do SpinArch Chicago. We could even be more specific. I guess I did Chicago as a whole. Yeah, we could just do that. That's fine. SpinArch Chicago. So we'll hit next. Because you guys only have SpinArts anyways. All right. So as soon as I hit this and hit next, they're all set to go. That has now been selected. And then here's where they can write their suggestion for what they want. So that's done. And then you can look at who's involved in this by scrolling down here. And this is everybody that has access to it now. So it should be only your location if you do it that way. And then of course, anybody who's associated to it, like certain people like, TJ and Tatiana and me, and like some of the call centers that are associated to those locations will also get this, but that's fine because, Samantha may have a great idea to help out Chicago that she's seeing on the phone side. She should be able to suggest that. And so there you go. You have everything. So Scott, all your team now has that. So when they log onto their app now, you included, you'll see a suggestion box that's specific to you guys.
Cool, thanks.
Yep.
Okay, maybe let's open a questions section just in case somebody has some questions. And
Yes, please do.
I think one of the main question, Jonathan, can you please show how to add users?
Oh yeah, that's easy. Super simple. Okay, so the users, when you click on users at the top left here, we'll want to click on the add users button. And then right here, you can do, you can just do, you know, I'm gonna just do a fake one really quick. Austin Powers. And you can select the hire date. So let's say we hired him today. And then send an invite. So this will send it to that phone number right here to welcome them on board. So an invite email and or text message will be sent to the download link. So you hit confirm. Let's see, that's my phone number, so it's not going to work, but let me. But essentially, you would just hit confirm here. It'll move into the next screen. I can't do it because I'm trying to use my own phone number. I don't know if it'll let me try a fake email. So you can change it. It doesn't have to be phone number. You can click on this and do it differently. I think I can do. So Tatiana, it's still, I think per our setup on our accounts, it requires at least a phone number because you see that.
Yeah.
Put a fake.
No, we cannot put a fake phone. Give me 1 second. Let me grab my work phone.
Okay. But you can add an email like I just did as well. So, and I would highly recommend putting an email in there. But we should probably do what I do. You guys can do it however you want to do it. I like to get as much information on my employee as possible. So I always select email. I like to select location just so that way it's there. And then because this is all going to pre-fill and it makes it easier for the software to know what's going on. So if you do location, email, you can do the birth date so that they're included in those notifications. I would say that's about it. That's about all we really need. First name, last name, mobile number, email, location, and birth date is what I would do. And then you can just pick your location. So, request. I'm just going to use this one. Make up a birthday real quick. Let's do.
Hey, Jonathan, can you
Yes.
type phone number 470-292-0794?
Okay, hold up. 470-292.
0794.
0794. Okay. And I'll try this paranoia because I don't think this one exists. All right, so I'll just make up something there. So here's an example of one ready to go. First name, last name, phone number, email, employee start date, and then location that they're hired at, and then birth date. And this is pretty much should be how it goes for mostly all of us. I really don't think we need really much more than this right here. And then you'll hit confirm. And that person is now added. Now we're not done yet. All that did was add them into the database. So if we want to go back to Austin Powers here, all he's associated to is Paranoid Quest, Buford, Georgia. See that? We can go even further. So if we click on him and we come over here to the left-hand side, we can title it if we want to. So we can put like, Game Master. And then this is imperative for the next step. So for them to get like our welcome packages or specifically to what we want them to get, we would want to make sure that they're in the right subgroup. So that's down here. So we want to make sure that we have this correct. And if it's not, we want to add it in. So for this, I would do new hires. So if you add that tab, now the system will read these key things here, and it'll add that to its list of things that need to be assigned to that employee. So that now they'll get the information that they need, and they'll get the proper documents, and they'll get the proper training materials that they'll need for the company as a whole. So like new hires will get this information right here.
No, they. Okay.
Go ahead,
The new
Tatiana.
hires, yeah, the new hires paperwork is on the documents tab. If you can click on the documents tab, please. No, on the employee, right there.
Yep.
So here's all the package, the new hire package that the employees need to fill out. They can click on the documents, download it, fill it out, upload it back.
Right. Hey, Tatiana, I did have a request. Do we know, is there a way for them to fill this out through PDF direct on these and submit up, or do they have to actually physically download them, print them, fill them out, and then take a picture and re-upload them?
Not with the paid version we have.
Okay.
So they have it only with the enterprise, and we're not there yet.
Okay, gotcha. So there's that.
So where's the training materials for them? Where can we see them?
Well, it's gonna be tough because we're not in a mobile format, but if you were to go to the app now, whoever's phone number that was that I just had, they would have had an invitation to join their Connecteam app. And on their app right now, they would have access to this stuff right here.
No, what made it join it? New hires tab or which
Yeah, new
tab?
hires. Oh, mm-hmm. So if they click in, they'll see this training course right now, and a bunch of other stuff as well that's meant for specifically just new hires. And then since I classified them as Paranoid Quest, they will also get access to this as well. So anything that involves my specific business location, if that makes sense. So they get access to the main stuff, and then they get access specifically to their locations information.
Okay. Anyone, any questions? Because we already been doing it for an hour, so I just want to kind of start wrapping it up.
Can we add a video that shows to get to the documents?
Which documents?
Like for the new hire when they get into Connecteam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we
can make that.
Because that's like chasing after them for trying to figure out where it is. Even though it's right there, to us it's easy. But I think a small video in the training would be good to have.
So we can add it.
Clips.
We can add it right here into this.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning. Just a small, like right after welcome. That should be like the first thing that they see. Do your documents, because it's crazy.
So, Jonathan, can you edit out the suggestion box? This suggestion.
Do you want me to put that as a suggestion? Is that what you're saying, Dimitri?
Yes.
Yeah, I can do that real quick. Hold on. So I'll do it on my phone because it'll be easier that way. This is just a simulated. So just so everybody knows, if you haven't figured out by now, you're very limited what you can do on the phone app. The phone app is not going to allow you the capabilities that you're going to have on the computer. The computer is the all-tell everything. You can create all this stuff. All the phone is is the simplified version of it for staff, to make sense. You know, it's basically the navigation of it. The creation of it should always be done on the computer side of things. Create a training for employees on how to find the documents tab to fill out paperwork. Perfect. Okay, so let's see if that worked. So I just went ahead and all right, so suggestion box. I just submitted it in. Let me refresh. Perfect. Let me go back into suggestion box. Aha, look at that. Somebody just said a suggestion. I wonder who it could be. So if we click on show entries, there's my suggestion. So if I'm a manager, here's my suggestion. And I can view it right here just by clicking the little deal. Create a training for employees on how to find documents to fill out paperwork. So there it is. And then it looks like over here on this side, I can tell the employee, and this is kind of cool too. I think maybe this is something that's very underutilized. That we can let them know, hey, we love this. I'm working on it. So that sends a message back to the employee that lets them know, hey, your suggestion has been heard and we're working on it. That's pretty valuable. I feel like, I think that has some value to staff as well. It gives them clarification that like their voices have been heard. So.
Anyone have any other questions or?
What are you pointing to, Peter? All I got was.
Okay, everyone except Peter does have any questions.
Tatiana's muted.
Oh,
There you go, Tatiana.
here you go. So Peter's asking question, are we able to fill out a disciplinary form and send digitally to staff for signature, or does that have to be done in person?
So I'll let you lead that, Tatiana, but traditionally the way that I err on that is that the disciplinary form should be done with the employee at the time when they're disciplining them. I mean, yeah. So I would say it'd be no different. All we're doing is moving it to digital. If it was, paper, we would be having them sign it right on the spot with us sitting right there.
Yeah, especially if it's a verbal something bad that they have done just recently that, we want to cover our bases, and definitely make sure have them signed it in person in front of you. But this digital form, I mean, it replaces, that signature that they put on the form is assigned to their name on the application. So either way.
Yeah, let me see what it is. I missed it.
Yeah.
You want to read it, Tatiana?
Yeah, we really need to have it done soon. And if they're not scheduled for several days, do we have an alternative option?
Do we have an alternative option for, you mean a write-up?
I'm reading Pete's question.
Mm-hmm.
But we really need to have it done soon. If they're not scheduled for several days, do we have an alternative option? If they're not, Peter, if they're not scheduled, what do you mean if they're not scheduled?
Can
Okay.
he do like
He said he'll call.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, can he do like a Zoom with the person he needs to write up and then have the digital copy
That's possible
with
too.
him,
Yes.
and it's a face-to-face kinda?
I'm not sure. We'd have to look and see if you can email it. I think you can, because there's options that you can in specific things you can assign to an employee that they need to do, that is an option. I just need to understand, and I need to look at it more in depth on that specific form, if that's an option that you can send and have them sign. We'd have to look into that as an option. I guess we're erring on the side of having that conversation with them in person, and just the accountability aspect of it.
I agree with the in-person thing. I'm just wondering.
Mm-hmm. You can call me, Peter, if you want. Just call me. It'll be easier that way. That way we're not having to play this charades, 2 words, 3 syllables. Hello, sir.
Hey, how about that?
Hi, welcome to the family. We're glad to have you. Thanks for making your voice heard.
Yeah. So, no, of course, any conversations with disciplining employees need to be done at consider at least over the phone. My example that I'm talking about here is if an employee screws up, we send out the next day, and we then call the employee because they're not on the schedule for the next 3, 4, 5 days, whatever. We can't wait 5 days to write them up or to talk about this morning with them in person to have them sign. Is there a way to fill out that form? We have the conversation with them. They're on board. They understand, whether it's verbal, warning, written, whatever.
And when they come in, they sign it.
Yeah, that we just send it to them for their signature, acknowledging that they have been talked to about this. That we don't have to worry about the next time the manager will be there at the same time as the employee.
I understand. Yeah, I got you. We'll have to find out and look at it. I'm assuming so, because I'm assuming it would just be an incompleted doc, right? Like you could fill it all out, have it all pretty much done, and then send it. I mean, we have to look at it. I'm assuming yes, because I do see that there is options to assign specific things that you want an employee to have, and you can pull from our list of things, right? So if it's a form, I'm pretty sure you could fill it out and then assign it, but don't quote me on it until I know. But yes, I do see that could be of use for sure if there's a lot of time spread between employees and managers.
I mean, in this case, we should have a document without manager's signature, just the employee's signature.
Well, 6 of one, a half the dozen the other. They still have to be able to have access to the actual form, though, which means the manager would have had to have filled it out, which means they would still have to assign it to the staff member. So if they've already done that up to that point, they would already still need to have a signature on it as well. Because obviously an employee is not going to write up their own write-up.
Do you want to test it with me?
I can. Yeah, let's do it really
Do a
quick.
disciplinary form with me.
Wow. I'm gonna
Write
write
up
up Tatiana right now. Perfect. All right. Well, Tatiana, I'm sorry. This has been happening enough. Unfortunately, we'll have to move forward with an official write-up for you. All right, let's go with, oops, that's not what I wanted. Here, I'm going to do it on my phone, actually. I'm going to do it for real, like I would if I was at location.
Don't be surprised if the next paycheck going to be short.
I'm figuring. I figure. It's fine.
But besides disciplinary forms, let's find something positive in the employees and try to recognize them as well on the same application, right? There's also some sections where you can, celebrate something that they achieved. It doesn't have to be always disciplinary forms, right?
No, that's why I said that's the importance of that other screen, of making sure we gather that information so that we're giving them kudos for the things that they do right,
Yeah.
And it's actually can be useful for us, like who has a good things about them recorded. At the end of the year, we can calculate who got most of it, and we can get a platter for them or whatever you call it. This acknowledgement, like for best performance or something.
So what we'll do, guys, for the sake of time, because we have a lot of valuable time, Tatiana and I will work on that, and then Peter will get back to you on that, and we'll let you know, because it's gonna take a minute for us to do that, and I don't want to keep anybody. But I will find out, and Tati and I will work on that, and we'll get an answer for you right away on that, and then we'll just we'll advise and let everybody know that that is an option.
Yeah, I know as far as training, like we were talking about video for new hires to be able to find it out. I think in general, some sort of overview of this. Hey, these are called apps of different things. Just for new users, and shit managers too. It's Connecteam is a lot. I agree. It's great. It's really
It's good for us. Yeah.
But right now, it's not being used because it's so confusing. So when staff is new hire stuff, I didn't even know it existed. So let alone my staff.
Right.
So there's also the docx thing makes sense versus PDF.
Yes. I guess we went docx because we were afraid that not everybody has an application that can open up a PDF on their phone. That was what I was told, because we had a couple staff members that were like, I can't do PDF on my phone. Right. So we went to
Dial phone.
yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know. I know there's applications you can download, and a lot of phones are already preset to view PDF, but we did have a couple that were like, look, I can't access it. You show me where I have to. And I'm like, okay, we'll download an app. And they're like, really? I got to download an app for this?
Welcome to the workforce. I don't know still.
Yeah. So.
Cool deal. Well, thanks for all that.
Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any concerns? Does anybody not, see opportunity to change some things? Do we like the direction we're going? I guess feedback is always important. I'll keep chugging along if everybody feels like we're going the right direction. I think I have the best interests in mind of everybody here. I've owned my own businesses myself, so I've ran multiple. I understand how imperative it is to have things organized and easy for staff. It makes our jobs easier. It makes our managers' lives easier. So I'm just trying to air everything from the perspective of you guys and making it easier the best that I can. So.
I guess an important update as far as the phone app goes, just make sure the notifications are set on your phone in relation to the Connecteam app, because a lot of this just went way underweight. And just simply because one quick question they asked for setting up the app. So I guess if the common problem I've heard from employees and other staff is that nothing ever comes through, that's on your phone settings most likely. So make sure we check that.
So maybe that's something we can highlight in the setting up Connecteam. Like in that training video, maybe we can tell staff, hey, make sure after you've set this up, go on your phone settings and enable notifications for this specific app. Because you're right, a lot of the new phones and a lot of the new updates, they don't default to allow notifications anymore. You have to actually tell it to allow it.
All right, guys, I suggest let's wrap it up for today. I mean, it's a lot of information. I think that's good.
Sounds good.
All right, so everyone, thank you so much for participating. Thanks so much for your time. As you can see, we trying to improve, our processes, and I hope this is going to help us to stay more organized and streamline the training process, and so much more. Thank you, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.
Great job,
Good.
Jonathan. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jonathan. Awesome job.
No problem. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
All right.